Okay, we're ready for Coach Bennett. We'll start in the front with Jeff White and then Mike Barber.
Tony, you put recent key back in the game with 7:38 left. It was both had 4 fouls at that point. What's your message in such a situation?
Well, they both can't get a foul at the same time. So that went through my mind because one of this, I wish I could, it was the whole staff, but one of the staff said, let's go with them both. And I was like, and I thought, and I just think, well, if one of them picks up a foul, they both can't, you know what I mean? And so that really was a thought I had after. It was an excellent suggestion from my staff. And it was kind of time. Let's go. Some guys were tired. Get a different mix, try to spread out and guard. I think they were frustrated that they couldn't quite, they're getting some fouls, couldn't keep them in front. And they certainly delivered among the team did, but other guys as well.
Okay, Mike.
Tony, you got really important, I thought, contributions from Ryan and Dunn in the second half, particularly rebounding wise. Isaac too with some big threes. I know the foul trouble was part of the rotation, but how important is it to see them kind of rise up at moment?
Yeah. So with the first time now, they've been doing this in our, we've been playing some solid basketball, and those two have been an important part of it. And, again, Ryan is he's so mobile, and he's wired to defend and rebound, offensive glass defense. And then, he bangs a three. And if he guards a four, he can show and get back, block some shots. And the way at Wake Forest, they're very good offensively, the way they're spreading you out and attacking. They put pressure on you. So we needed Ryan's mobility. And I thought he was really good. And that's his high, I think, so far of his early career in rebounding. And that was a heck of a tip dunk to get that.
Going back to Wake offensively, what was the approach on Appleby, who seemed to struggle, and the way that Keyhead defended him down the threat?
Well, I mean, he was kind of having his way, as a lot of them were. They were spreading us out. We thought maybe a screen was coming, and just he's so quick Hildreth is so aggressive with his drives that if they turn your hips a little bit and then they got shooters and they attack, and then they'll jump stop and really work you deep into the paint. It's well done. It's well schooled, but it was just at the end, square him up, fight. If he makes a tough shot over the top, we're not going to bail him out and just wall up. And if we need to, we'll maybe send someone. And one time we didn't. And he's got to earn tough twos, but you're going to be a wall on wheels is what we said. And I think he got that at the end. Maybe not at the whole time before.
Okay, Jeff.
About 8 minutes left or so. It was a 1-point game, and Appleby had it inside, and Ryan blocked the shot.
It's huge.
On the road like this, with the crowd like that, to keep them from going ahead, is that an even bigger thing?
It was. And look, they missed a couple chippies or easy ones that helped us. We missed a couple. So it was kind of if you were a spectator, gave us back, forth, a lot of shots made. But this was the best Wake Forest. This is my 14th year. And this was the best Wake Forest crowd that I think I've experienced in my time here. So it was live. You could feel it. And so, plays needed to be made down the stretch. Defensively, I always say that. And that was one of those, the players play and make the plays. And he came out of nowhere, came across and snatched some rebounds. And, it was impressive.
Okay,
And
middle
again,
left.
I want to mention Armand with his, we haven't talked about him, but 25 and 10, that's a career high. And he hit a huge three for us and battled hard. And with the foul trouble, he had a ride. How many minutes did I play him?
37 and a half.
Yeah, a lot of minutes. So it's hard fought.
Any indication, Coach, as to what led to the switch being flicked on? Because missed the first 6 3-pointers, and then you nailed the next 7 and went on that 19-0 run. What was that?
Yeah, well, I thought we got good shots early. We got offensive rebounds. We were running what we needed to do. And you have to take a quality shot. Now, maybe we got a little 3 happy at times. I mean, who doesn't believe in a heat check if you hit a few like some of our guys were? But then all of a sudden they started sharing the ball. We had space and guys were in rhythm, and you take them that way. Maybe a couple times in the second half, and I think Reese's 3 was a dagger too when he backed the guy off and got that 3. So you needed to make that, but keep taking quality shots. Shooting's a funny thing, but it's a good shot. You have to take it with confidence, and guys work at it.
Mike.
Tony, you did not have a turnover in the first half. You get 7 in the second half.
Yeah.
We'll let them get back into it. Was that just the urgency from them, or was there something you saw that concerned you?
I mean, the first half was obviously very clean and moved the ball, and then they upped their pressure. We were maybe trying to attack a little more in just a couple of uncharacteristic ones, a charge and 2 offensive fouls, and then you know, a couple that were maybe unnecessary, unforced that we had. I know Kihei was frustrated at that one at the end, but they kind of got more aggressive, and then they got the crowd behind them and played a little bit more aggressive defensively. So I think that led to it, and we made some unsound plays also.
Okay, Jeff.
Your best teams have typically been really good on the road. What is the common denominator to teams you've had that have been successful away from JPJ?
Well, I think you try to play, you have really good players and you recruit a good, you have a good staff, all that, but you try to have a system that doesn't waver, that is sound. It gets, can you get back? Can you be sound? You know who you are. And we talked about before the game, simple, faithful, and purposeful. And simple in terms of don't overcomplicate this. You know, you have to do, be faithful to who you are. You know, your kind of true self as a team, and then do it with great purpose and passion. And like you can't get confused with a lot of stuff. Going to just be true to that and train that way and play that way. And then the game allows opportunities for freedom, guys to make plays and do that. But you always got to remember what we use the word non-negotiables are, or who you are. And so I hope that's something that's given us some success on the road with obviously good players.
Okay, got time for one more.
Tony, you didn't have a 2-point basket for the first
Yeah.
14 minutes of the second half. Obviously, guys are hitting threes. That's part of it. But did that concern you at all, the shot selection or the not being able to get?
I thought they were maybe 1 or 2 heat checks, but the ball was moving and they were feet set rhythm threes. And yeah, that's a ton of threes, but I mean, I'll have to go back and look, but I think I was okay with the majority of it. But you can't live and die by that. Then you have to try to mix it up. But they also were, you know, jamming the lane and switching and doing a good job on their switches, so we couldn't get it in. So
All right, one more. That's fine.
Was there any question who your daughter might have been rooting for in this game tonight?
I can, yeah, no, not at all. And I told her, go recruit some of your friends that have spent time and ate meals at our house and stayed over to pull for us. But no, I'm glad she can hold her head high. Last year, we couldn't get it done for her, but and she can yell. I actually found that out sitting there. So, but no, and she loves this school. This is similar to Virginia. This is a wonderful school, and you know, good things. And Coach Forbes and his staff have done a really good job these last 2 years. They're building it, and so it was a high level, good game, and my daughter is happy.
Thanks, everyone. Ryan Dunn, Kihei Clark, and Armand Franklin will be available outside of our locker room.
Okay, any questions for Cam and Andrew?
Cam, you guys are used to playing physical games. Where does this one grade in terms of the physicality that they bring?
UVA are very physical, but like you said, every team we played is a physical team. We were prepared for that. We were warned by coaches that it's going to be a physical game. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think the physicality had too much to do with it today. Down the stretch, I think some of our decision making as a team wasn't great, but we can capitalize off it. We got practice and we got 2 big games coming up next week. So yeah, physicality is every game.
Real quick, in the huddle, do you guys know how many fouls Beekman and Clark have? Is attacking players who are in foul trouble something you guys discuss?
Yeah, obviously when players are in foul trouble, we want to try and attack them, and we were in the bonus with like 11 minutes to go. So we wanted just to keep attacking and try and get into line. But yeah.
For both of you guys, kind of came out, got punched in the mouth today, went down 19. What does it say about the resiliency of this team to claw back to within 1 after that start?
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of been a theme of the team this year. Is just we're pretty resilient group, and we'll fight back. And obviously helps when Damari can shoot the way that he can. So he did a great job of helping us. Kind of when we were going in a little in the first half, offensively, kind of picking that up for us and getting us going a little bit. But I just think in the first half, we definitely, actually the whole game, just offensive. They had a lot of offensive rebounds, and with the way that they play offense, and they take it out, and then they're going again, running more offense, running that 20 seconds down that they got. So I think that was one thing that we definitely need to do better.
Cam, what does that pack line defense do in relation to what you try to do offensively? It seems like those 2 things would not work together too well against each other.
Yeah, I think this is a good thing because when I'm driving and they're all coming in there, the kick out's open. And like Andrew said, we got Damari, he's going to shoot the ball very well, but everyone can shoot the ball. So me getting in there and like you said, coming up to that physicality and inside, it doesn't always have to be a score. Like you said, I can get in there and I kick it out to the shooters. But yeah.
On the flip side, how good did it feel a couple times the second half to get out in transition, to be able to create the drives kind of?
Yeah, definitely. I like to get the ball and go, especially in transition, like you said. We felt that that was one of our successful things tonight, is getting out in transition. So every time a guard gets a rebound, we just want to push, and I feel like in transition is good for me. So yeah.
Andrew, walk me through, how did you guys feel about the crowd tonight? You would think this would probably be the best environment you guys have played at Wake Forest. How did it feel as a player?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Especially seeing almost like an hour and some change before the game. You got the students sprinting down the floor to get the first row, and that we appreciate that for sure, and hope to keep it coming and get as much support as we can. We really appreciate it. So that was awesome. Good environment.
We appreciate everyone coming.
Cam, I think your finish shot, 44% from 3. Was that something you guys could have done better defensively, or is that just more you chalk it up to them?
I mean, it's a credit to them, shooting the ball that well. They're a good team, obviously. But yeah, like Coach said all week, that we got to make sure we get a stick count, which is like basically just contesting their shots. And I feel like a couple of times we slacked on doing that. We close out to them and then put our hand down and then try to put it up again. And like I said, credit to them for making those shots. But the second half, we talked about it, and I think we did a much better job. But the beginning is where it really killed us.
Anything else? All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
At home.
I got this.
Well, I think everybody got their money's worth today. What a great crowd, tremendous student crowd. We had 2,600 students here, which is a tremendous showing by them. Congrats to Virginia. They're a really good basketball team, elite team. I was really worried. I know everybody talks about their defense, but I think they're really good on offense. I guess they showed it today when they banged 15 threes on us. Franklin got them going, but they spread it out. It's not just one guy. They had a bunch of guys, make threes on us. I didn't feel like we were guarding them very well right at the beginning of the game. I know we got off to a pretty good start, but I thought they were just missing, and then when you see that ball clean, now they start to go in. And I think they scored on 8 straight possessions in the first half, a 22-point run there. And so we're playing from behind, the rest of the game. It's hard to do that against an elite basketball team. So I thought, it just made it really hard for us now. Great fight by my team to come back, unbelievable building. Had 3 chances to take the lead and just couldn't get it done. I thought we got a little anxious. Tried to make the big play, keep the crowd going. Ty got a 3 in transition, not a great shot. The second one got blocked at the rim. That was a great defensive play. And then Andrew got a wide open 3 in the corner to take the lead and just missed it, and that was kind of it. And then you got to give them credit, they came in here and they, took the hit and then they won the game. And they played really well. We did hold them scoreless in the second half, I think, from about 9:16 to 6:26, which helped us kind of, get back in the game. It's a tough game. We love to have won it. We did it, and we got to move on, and this is the thing. We're not even halfway through the ACC yet. We got to go to Pitt, and then we're only at the halfway point. So, again, I thought our fight was tremendous. Played really good defense in the second half, didn't play very good defense in the first half, and that's why the score was what it was. But I felt pretty good at halftime, only being down 10. We went +9 in the last 5 minutes, kind of got us back in it. We came out in the second half and +4, and we had a game going like we wanted it to go. But, timely shots. McNeely's a good player. Vanderplas is a hard matchup. It's hard to play. He's a inside, outside player. I just thought they made some big timely threes.
Steve, we saw the jacket toss and pick in the second half.
That's a vest, not a jacket.
Sorry.
All right.
What was most frustrating in that second half as you guys got so close?
I just think we just couldn't get over the hump. And a good team's not going to let you do that, right? They're going to fight. I just felt like we were right there. We just had some opportunities to take the lead. Then you put some score pressure on them, and you could see it kind of building on them, but to their credit, they stayed. They're a very disciplined team on offense and defense. Okay. And so sometimes, you can't get the lead, then it's a long possession coming down. You got to grind. But, we did. We got the stops. We just didn't execute offensively to get the lead to kind of see where it could go from there. It just didn't happen.
Steve, their guys felt like you made it really hard to get to the rim, to get in the paint, that they essentially had to settle for those 3
Yeah.
points. They hit 15 of them, But was that kind of strategy in your mind was
Well,
is unlikely?
yeah, I tell you this, when you watch them, they're unbelievable. They run their 3 game. It's real high. And then they lull you to sleep and they drive baseline. They drive baseline. They drive baseline. They drive baseline. And they're getting easy twos and they're getting layups and they're getting fouls. I don't know how many we gave up, but we did not want that to happen. Okay. And so that was important. I think one thing with them, they're one of the final teams really in college basketball that actually screens you. Okay. And they screen you a lot. And so if you don't stay disciplined in it too, they'll get you at the end on a fade screen or something and get a wide open shot. Okay. So some of it was, some of it was, we didn't want to give up that baseline drive. Okay. So maybe they come drive, kick 3 a little bit. I thought we ran into some screens, and they're just very opportunistic. And I think too, I don't know if the offensive rebounds hurt us, but they had 10. Can't do that to Virginia, man. And they didn't have a turnover in the first half. They had 7 in the second half. We turned up the heat a little bit. I thought some of it too, Mike, was more like we just wanted them to miss instead of making them miss. And they're not going to do that. They're too good for that.
Steve, just the thoughts of the fight of your team to come back from down 19 to get to within 1, and even late to get down 10, and then Damari to pop a couple threes in rapid succession to make one last serve.
Proud of them for that, proud of them for that. But I'd rather be playing from ahead than behind, That's what we've been doing, making teams do that to us, Now listen, they took to their credit, the most, to me, the most impressive thing a team can do is take the air out of the building in a road game. That to me is the best feeling in the world, when they shut up the crowd. And they did that in the first half. Okay. Not our crowd's fault. It's the way we were playing. It's our job to get the crowd going. And to our credit, we kept going, because it could have got a little ugly there. They were rolling, and I had to burn a couple timeouts, and then we got going. We found our way. We started to defend. We started to get some stops. I thought they had a hard time guarding us in transition in the second half. Once we could get stops and runs, we were going. We missed some things. Ty missed some shots, right at the rim that, we've not seen him really miss. And so, but all the credit goes to Virginia. But the fight was awesome. Yeah.
See, this is 3.5 games that Tony's gone with that kind of smaller lineup. In terms of Ryan Dunn, some of the rebounding, how important for them that get rebounding from some of those other positions playing small?
Yeah, I think it's a better offensive team. That's just my opinion. I've never asked Tony that, but we played our 5-man on Dunn and our 4-man on Vanderplas, and we made that decision early just because really that's who he is. He's more of a guard. That was a great tip dunk that he got. He made a 3, which I was like, come on, man. It's a harder team to guard offensively, and they're still going to defend. I mean, that's what they do. They're long. They get a lot of deflections. So I like that lineup, but it afforded us to be able to do it too now. And we're a pretty good offensive team. And when we're playing with Andrew at the 5 and Bobby at the 4, then we can play that way too. So, I knew that coming in. I that's why I was afraid of them offensively, because you have to guard all 5 spots. And sometimes you play teams you don't have to necessarily guard that guy as much, and they put a lot of pressure on you that way when they could do that.
Coach, when you guys fell behind early, Damari's shot making that kind of kept you guys in it.
That was the only thing that was in it. We weren't running it. I thought our offense stunk. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm sure it was going to be a brilliant question. I'll let you go ahead, finish it.
I was just going to ask how important the spark was to keep them.
It was the only thing that kept us in the game. I mean, he made some incredibly hard shots. I just thought they had us discombobulated. We're unsettled. But a lot of it had to do with the way we were guarding. Just didn't, you don't have a lot of confidence in what you're doing when they're going down there scoring every time, and you're coming down there trying to make some incredibly hard shot just to keep it at 15. That's tough. But Damari made some big time shots, and he did in the second half, and he made some twos. And Damari's playing at a pretty high level right now. You know, he's a good basketball player.
Yeah, coach, you kind of mentioned it there, but this was the most minutes that Damari's played all season, 34. What kind of impact does he have as a player and as someone who's starting to lead this team a little bit more?
Well, he's not leading the team. I can tell you that right now. I think that I think he's just kind of finding his way. You know, he didn't start out very. Come on, he got off to a tough start, but he's playing at a high level right now in some high level games. He's got good size. He's got toughness to him. He can rebound. He can obviously shoot it. He can pass. I was proud of him a couple times. I mean, I thought he was going to go heat check, and he swung it. So he's playing good. I mean, he can't get more out of him than what we got today. I mean, he's going to keep getting better, you know, and I'm proud of him.
Which I noticed, it seems about halfway through the second half, you had your smaller lineup on the floor, had Matthew Marsh at the scorer's table, then pulled him back. I think he even got sent the second time, he got pulled back.
Yeah.
And what were you maybe wanted to get out of Matthew, and then what made you change?
I don't remember. It was going fast. It was probably who they had in, probably matchup wise and what we maybe were going to try to do offensively. I'll have to go back and look. I mean, I don't understand that offensive foul call on him on the out top. I mean, we just came down to run a play to get DeMario 3. We're not even trying to get him the ball. His job was just to hand the ball off. And I don't know what the hell they were calling there. But he's more of a defensive presence for us than an offensive presence. And it probably depended on who they had in there. I don't know if they had Shedrick in there. He only played a couple minutes, then him and Cafaro. Those guys played about 8 minutes, and so I thought Matt struggled to get rebounds, and that's not good. He did make a couple big free throws when we needed them, but he's got to rebound the ball better.
While talking about his daughter going to Wake Forest, Tony was mentioning how good of a job you've done, how great the school is. What kind of relationship do you have with Tony? Something a lot of people have been talking about, the old guard, Mike Bray, that type of way, Tony kind of being one of the leaders of this conference.
Well, I think he is the leader. Once we still have some veterans in here with, Coach Hamilton, Coach Larinaga, Coach Boeheim, obviously. Mike's stepping away now. I've known Tony since, I don't know, he was at Wazoo. I mean, my assistant coach, Matt Woodley, was his assistant, at Wazoo for the whole time they were there. So I call it Wazoo, Washington State. I mean, I've known Tony forever. He called me one time about the LSU job when it was open. When I was at Tennessee, we talked about that. And we talked about a lot of things over the years. I look for him for leadership and guidance when it comes to making decisions for our league. I think he's the voice, will be for our league. He should be. I mean, I have an incredible amount of respect for him because I know if you can win at Washington State, you're pretty darn a basketball coach, and then, to come and do what he's done at Virginia. Wow. Incredible. Obviously he comes from a wonderful basketball family because his father was just as good a coach, and so there he's kind of those two together was a tough combination, but I think he has the premier program in the league, consistency right now with him and as long as he's been there and the amount of winning that they've done, and they're going to win this year, that I think he's kind of the standard bearer right now in our league. And I will say I'm going to miss Mike. Mike and I got a couple things in common. Number one, we had the same birthday. It happens to be that he's older than me. It's always around St. Patty's Day because it's March 22nd. So we've always enjoyed a beer or two. And he embraces the Golden Dome and I embrace the Chrome Dome. So we got that. We got that in common. I think more coaches should be like Mike. Mike's kind of where I'm from back in the old days when you played a game. After the game was over, you went out with the coach, had a beer and a pizza and talked about the game. We did that in the old Iowa JUCOs. Mike's that kind of guy. I think younger guys should be more like that, and I think he's a great role model for coaches.
Anything else? All right.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.